You know what I absolutely love about Grow a Garden on Roblox? It's that feeling right before a big update drops. The air in the community just changes. Everyone's grinding harder than ever, trading becomes intense, people are stocking up on resources, and at the same time, the rumors start flying left and right. It's like this collective buzz where everyone knows something is about to happen, but no one's fully sure until the leaks finally drop. And that moment has just arrived because now we've got the very first real leaks for the Fairy event Part 2. This isn't just speculation anymore. This is the actual sneak peek. And trust me, after looking at what's been uncovered, I can honestly say this might turn out to be the most exciting part of the Fairy update so far. And hey, before we go deeper, if you're into Grow a Garden content like this, leaks, updates, theories, and grinding strategies, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Seriously, it means a lot to me and it helps this channel grow so much. Also, don't forget to drop a like if you're hyped for Fairy Event Part 2 and let me know in the comments what you're personally hoping for in this update. I read through your theories all the time and half the fun of this community is seeing how everyone's imagination runs wild. Alright, so let's get into the leaks themselves. Earlier today, the Dawn Discord server came through with brand new info, giving us our first look at Part 2 of the Fairy event. And I don't know about you, but whenever Dawn drops something, I stop everything I'm doing just to see what's going on. So let's break it down carefully because there's a lot here to unpack. Now, I don't want to just jump right into pets and cosmetics because there's actually something bigger going on. Something that's going to completely shift the way this event feels. Because this update isn't just about what's inside the chest, it's about how the developers are structuring the event's economy. A lot of us, me included, have been spending the last 2 weeks grinding fairy points, farming glimmering plants, and hoarding mutation sprays like crazy. I've seen inventories so stacked they could honestly crash the balance of the event if everything carried over. But according to the leaks, that's not how it's going to play out. The reason is this. Part 2 is bringing in a brand new mutation called luminous, and that completely resets the playing field. Everything we've been stacking up until now, fairy points, glimmering items, sprays, they won't matter anymore for Part 2. Instead, we'll all be starting fresh, farming luminous plants and collecting a new type of currency if we want access to the new chest. Now, I get it, that's going to sting for some people. If you've been grinding non-stop to prepare, this can feel like the rug's been pulled out from under you. But honestly, when you think about it from the dev's perspective, it's a smart move. Without something like this, players who stockpiled could instantly blow through Part 2 on day 1. By forcing a new grind, excited they're keeping the event alive, balanced, and challenging. Now let's shift to some of the unique items spotted in the leaks, because these are really interesting. First up is something called the pet lead, which is basically a leash for your pets. At first, you might look at it and think, okay, not a big deal. But when you actually imagine it in-game, the whole vibe changes. Instead of your pets just floating above you like usual, picture walking through your garden or exploring with your favorite pet trailing right behind you. It's such a subtle change, but it adds this whole new layer of personality to the game. Honestly, it gives me throwback Pokemon Yellow vibes when Pikachu used to follow right behind you. And for me, that's a huge nostalgia hit. Another interesting leak is what looks like a dog tag, but in reality, it's a pet name reroller. Now, I know a lot of us would prefer the option to just type in custom names for our pets, but let's be real, we all know what would happen if the devs opened that door. People would immediately abuse it with inappropriate or troll names. So instead, they're giving us a reroller, which still gives us some freedom. You can shuffle through preset names until you land on one that feels right. Is it the most game-changing feature ever? Probably not, but it's a neat addition that a lot of players will appreciate. Now, let's move on to what's easily one of the most talked about leaks, the Drake pet. And no, we're not talking about the rapper. A Drake is actually a type of dragon, and that alone makes it exciting. But of course, because of the name, half the community instantly started throwing out wild theories about a collab. Personally, I don't think that's the case here. If it were a collab, the developers would be hyping it up across all platforms. This Drake is almost definitely just another mythical creature being added to the lineup, probably tucked into the crafting shop like we've seen with other side pets. And honestly, even without a collab, a Drake is still a pretty awesome addition. But now, let's get to the big one. The centerpiece of all these leaks. The thing that had me literally sitting up in my chair when I saw it. The Enchanted Chest. This is the new chest dropping in part 2, and it's loaded with some of the most exciting content we've seen yet. And at the very heart of it, the Phoenix. I can't even tell you how hyped I am about this. Out of all mythical creatures, the Phoenix has always been my number one. The design, the lore, the whole rebirth from the Ashes vibe, it's just iconic. And now it's finally here in Grow a Garden. Sure, there's a catch. Since it's in a chest and not an egg, we'll never see a naturally huge Phoenix. But even so, the fact that the Phoenix is finally here makes me want to grind this chest non-stop. And the Phoenix isn't alone. The chest also includes the Cardinal, a bright red bird you'll recognize instantly if you've ever been in Canada or parts of the US. Then we've got the mushroom pet, which fits perfectly into the fairy theme. Mushrooms and fairies go hand in hand in folklore, so this one just makes sense. And of course, new plants are coming. Some of them don't stand out too much, like the green spiky ones, but one in particular grabbed me right away. It's this pink, blue, and purple blossom that looks like it came straight out of a candy dream. If that ends up being the divine plant, I promise you, people will farm it non-stop. Not just for stats, but because it'll look gorgeous in their gardens. So putting this all together, part 2 of the fairy event is absolutely stacked. We've got the luminous grind, new utility items like the pet lead and reroller, the possibility of a drake pet, and the enchanted chest with the phoenix, the cardinal, the mushroom, and the divine looking plants. It really feels like the devs are going harder than anyone expected. And that's not even everything. We also got news about friendship tiers being expanded to all non-player characters. It looks like they might be starting with the egg shop next, especially since it's bugged right now. If you remember, the same thing happened when they added the seed tiers, so this could be a sign of what's coming next. Maybe not in this update, but definitely soon. So yeah, this Saturday is going to be insane. The fairy event part 2 drops, the enchanted chest goes live, and all of us will finally see these leaks come to life. You already know I'll be there farming, testing, and sharing the fastest ways to grind the chest. So if this breakdown helps you out, hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss anything, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.